Welcome to Board Ghost, story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, but has it been forever?
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, we will play for you. This night's offering is a continuation of Dragons Conquer America by Burning Games. This is a kickstarted game that actually should be wrapping up at the end of November, near when this episode is going to drop. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Turkey lurkey lurkey.
So I am one of your humble players, John Holt. With me this week is...
Ken Breese, back again to entertain you, board ghosts.
and our returning guest...
Giaco Furino.
All right.
I don't know why I did a baseball.
If you like what you're hearing so far, you can check it out on Kickstarter. We'll have links on boardghost.com where you can check out more. So far, so good. We're definitely playing the beta rules. They said they'd be updating the rules as the Kickstarter goes on, so you guys can check out, see if there are any holes that have gotten filled in, and we'll probably be sending our feedback along to them. We'll leave that for them, and we probably won't bug you guys with our feedback too much on the show. We'll just play and give you guys an enjoyable game. It's definitely a well-written adventure, a good intro adventure. You could reskin it and do a D&D thing pretty easily if you wanted to. It's just getting used to the new system is the only other thing that I would say we're doing here. So this is a GM'd game, not something we normally do, meaning I'm playing GM. Ken, who are you playing?
I am playing a Spanish explorer. Her name is Maria Milagros Castaneda, and she has traveled from Spain to the New World to make her fortune.
And my character's name is Citlali. He is a sort of native to the land. He's from the Mexica culture. And he is of the peasant class, but has sort of broken off from that to go explore. He's endlessly curious, really good with his atlatl, which is a spear tube that he uses to chuck spears through the air. Just a very all-around, good explorer and endlessly curious sort of guide, and is knowledgeable about the area that he's from and that he lives in.
Cool. So to this point, you guys have kind of gone off on an adventure to find a lost temple of a lost civilization hidden in the jungles, based on the words of a local guide who was actually trying to undercut the Spanish and hire you guys on to help her seek this out. She was overcome by the Spanish, and you guys headed out before they could get going, and you have found your way eventually into the temple itself, into the heart of it, and are now confronted by a choice, three potential directions to go at the fork of a passage. And that's where we'll return to our tale.
And we can still hear this whispering or this chanting or whatever is happening, this sort of hoarse sounds. It sounds like someone is making weird chanting noises. Or something.
But there are not actually coming from a specific direction. It seems like this, especially the stairs, the vaulted stairs that were behind you, it's hard to discern the direction. They kind of there could be carved tubes and
Right.
speaking passages throughout this whole thing. And just it comes in almost like a breeze, like these raspy whispers of Wahi Kaya, blah, blah, what language you cannot understand.
Right. I would like to sort of feel for airflow, that sort of classic move of,
licking your finger.
lick my finger,
and holding it up.
it up and to each of the three entrances and seeing if I feel any breezeway coming through.
Whereas I am going to hold out my torch I'm going to crouch down and hold out my torch over the ground to try and see if I can see any tracks on any of the three passageways.
This is a well-kept tomb. It is swept clean. The sensors dance on small drafts of wind, but it's clear that this is again like a ventilation or just sort of a system for the smoke to go out. There's no clear draft in any direction. This is a well-built temple. The pressure of the air is all pretty well contained, and it seems like there's enough ventilation that the smoke is not gathering and staying, and that there's enough sort of like little drafts here and there, but again, from carved ventilation that make the flames dance on your torch and in these sensors. That is all. Like that's, you can't discern a specific thing. And it's still warm. It's cool inside here because you're outside of the sun, and it's drier. You're not in the jungle any longer, out in the humid beating heat. So it is cooler here, but it's still comfortably warm, and you're not catching like colder drafts. It's all pretty temperate in here.
Okay.
So you're not getting a clue, would be the long and short of that.
At least there are no bugs in here.
Yes.
So again, you have a left, a right, and a straight ahead.
I'm going to pray.
Great.
To
God.
No.
Oh.
Incorrect, but thank you.
Sorry.
I'm actually going to pray to the Mother of God. Mary. Mama Mary.
You should pray to Saint Andrew.
I don't know anything about
He's
that.
the lost.
He's the lost.
If you lose
He's the saint
something, you
of
pray to Saint Andrew.
Of finding things.
Says Citlali.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you should pray to Saint Andrew.
You know. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pray for guidance. Bring out my crucifix.
Use a card.
I will.
You get a slight impression of, to your right,
Blessed Virgin.
You get the impression of shimmering.
Shimmering. Cool.
To your left, you get the impression of glinting, and ahead of you, only darkness.
Cool.
And that's it. That's what you get.
Yeah, I tell.
And ahead of you, the impression of a dragon egg.
Yeah. I tell Citlali, I say, the Virgin has spoken to me. She says that there is water to the right and riches to the left, but death ahead.
Well, my water skin is full, and I would like to stay alive. So thank you, Virgin.
To the left, then.
To the left.
We'll go to the left.
You go to the left. Okay, so you continue down the passage for a bit, and it ends after a few meters in a closed stone door.
Does it look like this door pushes in or pulls out?
So it would be a push-in.
I'm going to look around at it to see if there are any booby traps.
You search about at this door. It's ornately carved, but a simple mechanism, and it looks as if it will move with some difficulty. It's a very large, heavy door.
Got it.
But it will move.
Are we seeing anything on the symbolism that's new to us, or is it pretty much the same?
No,
sort of thing?
it's within the same motif. In fact, it's sort of less of a codex and more of a a lot of, like, after having seen the history of the temple, you see reflections of the deities and sort of little known saints, and any sort of stories and symbolism are things that are beyond your immediate knowledge. And if you recognize them, it's because they reflect on this tale.
Got it. Should we try and push our way through?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the two of you together are able to push the door inward. And within, you see a bare stone room, unfurnished, except for the familiar flickering sensors, these little torches hidden in the corners. And there's actually a large stone statue standing in the center. The statue's tall as a man and represents an upright snake. And as your eyes adjust to this dim light, there are far fewer torches in here than in the hall. And as your torch kind of comes and glances on it, you notice that the snake's jaws hold a metal object that glints in the torchlight, an engraved half disc made of gold.
Let me handle this.
I'm about to take a step forward, but I like begrudgingly.
I put a hand on you on your like metal.
Yeah, I'm wearing like conquistador armor.
Right.
So I have this massive breastplate on. I have this metal helm, just like a Spanish conquistador would wear. So it has points at the front and the back. It's a metal helmet.
Right. And I am dressed in soft armor. So I've got sort of basically lightly padded clothing over my chest and a small sort of cap, a padded cap over my hair, and things kind of protecting my shins, although the one's been pretty scratched from this dark shade that we encountered last week. But I am much quieter and much more adept at sort of slipping into the darkness. So I'm going to try to sort of move so silently that if there is anything in there living or conscious, that I could even, in my opinion, I believe that I can even sneak past a ghost.
Okay. So as I'm going to need you to make a perception check as you begin your movement closer towards the snake. You notice that there are the floor tiles are, you start to put your foot down on one and notice that it shifts ever so slightly.
Okay. Do I notice any type of sort of tile pattern on the floor?
No, just that the tiles, the pattern is pretty uniform.
Okay. Do I feel like if I really tried, I could potentially jump from the doorway to the basically onto the statue?
The statue itself is almost like a column,
right?
Because of the snake. There's not really many places to leap to on it unless you were to hug it.
Right. Exactly.
You could attempt that.
Okay. Okay. I am going to leap from the doorway over. I mean, I think I know exactly. I don't know exactly what's going on with these tiles, but I know that it's. You don't want to step on a tile that shifts in a temple. That's sort of 101, exploring in these ruins. And so I'm just going to try to fling myself onto the statue.
It's really Tomb Raiding 101.
Yeah, true.
You leap onto this thing and are hugging it.
Right.
And staring up at this golden disc.
Yes.
What do you do?
I first look back and I'm like, yeah, see? Like
I'm looking around the room just to make sure nothing is emerging, no creatures,
why don't you
no
make
shadows.
Why don't you make a perception check as well?
Nothing crazy is coming out to kill us.
So I basically said, don't worry, I'll handle it, and then flung myself through the air.
Yeah, I know.
So you notice that there are slits in the walls, like dark slits. You notice dark slits
My
in the
voice sort of piping up. I say, hurry up.
Okay, and I'm going to snatch the half golden disc.
Okay, let's make a very simple test because you're still hugging this thing.
Right.
Right? All right.
Would that be, I guess, just like a athletic?
Yeah, we'll stick to
athletic. Stay hugging?
Mm-hmm.
Athletically hugging?
Yeah.
I think that's going to come into the Olympics here pretty soon.
You are able to dislodge the disc from the mouth, and you now hold it. You are kind of now stuck a little bit. Like what you now, one of your hands is, you know that basically you actually start to slip a little bit and have to hug. So you have the disc still in one hand, and the other hand you're still hugging this tube, this statue.
Right.
Even though you've gotten it, you're still.
Oh, good point. I'm going to try to fling it to you.
Throw me the disc.
All right. Yeah, let's do another athletics attempt.
Okay, no problem.
You fling it across, and let's actually see if you are able to catch it too.
Okay, this is also athletics, I take it?
Yeah.
Very good.
So you fling the disc,
right,
and it goes soaring in a high arc.
Oh no.
Ooh.
And
I'm sorry.
You both look up at it as it lands like right between the two of you, and you dive for it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And you fall back off the thing. And as you hit the tiles, the tiles shift under you and darts fly above your head.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me at Giaco Furino.
But the darts actually,
because you're prone.
You're all on the ground, and the darts, they actually hit into the statue.
Oh.
And these black obsidian feathered darts. And
vicious.
You look at this statue now, and it's like a feathered snake.
Cool.
Because of the way these darts stick into
it.
And it begins to shift.
And
slide. Let's go to initiative.
I like it.
Yeah, you actually recognize this creature, Giaco, from your.
I do.
From the.
That's bad.
It's a mythological creature.
Right.
It's Itzalkotl. Itzalkotl.
I tell you, that's what it is. It's Itzalkotl.
Thanks, Gary.
This is bad. Thank you, Gary.
It's still writhing and flittering to life.
Is it no longer stone? Does it look like it's flesh?
It's now. It seems to like shimmer with flesh.
I'm going to try to really just get my dagger in its belly and just go straight up.
Nice.
And just cut it open.
You slide your dagger in between its scales, and it shrieks. This is the first sound it's making.
Oh, boy.
And hisses, and the blood, you see it smoke as it pours down your dagger, and your dagger actually takes a point of damage.
Oh,
awesome.
shit.
It
oh,
deteriorates.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I rush forward. I see that Citlali is bravely standing and not running, and I will rush to be at his side.
All right.
Oh, yeah, we should have run.
Yeah, you know. Whatever. It's up to you, man.
Shut that door.
It's up to you, man. With my melee.
Boom.
Boom.
All right.
I will call you Snake
Does your weapon
Slayer.
pierce as well?
My weapon does pierce. It is a
Okay.
piercing weapon, as a matter of fact.
You pierce into it, but go on.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. Basically, what happens is I'm rushing forward, and I do this sort of like sweet leap where I leap into the air and pull back my arm and then like spear forward with my blade. So I'm coming down at a downward angle at it as I'm like hitting it and then hitting the ground afterwards. So it's like a leap attack.
Amazing.
And the weapon, it pierces through, and you skewer this thing right through the face and head. And as it dies, though, it starts to harden back to stone.
Oh no!
And you are able to scrape out your rapier just in time, but it takes 2 points of deterioration as the blood and the
brutal.
stone scrape against your forged weapon.
No!
That is what
And-
whetstones are for.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
It's turned back into a statue, though.
Yeah, and it falls back and shatters into multiple like heavy stone pieces.
I think that in some way, Citlali would be a little upset about that. He came in to do something, but there's nothing about this temple that is, in his opinion, necessarily worth desecrating. I think that he would be a little upset about that. Yeah. I mean, his religion, it says here, is Mesoamerican, which feels like at least a little more open to the idea of whatever is going on in this temple than your straight up maybe Christianity would be.
Exactly. Whereas I, as a Catholic, am sort of cursing these demonic creations or these demonic sort of manifestations.
Right. It's interesting too. Part of what I like about that is that it is still Christian in the realm of believing in monsters, still like the time period where like they believed in dragons and monsters and things like that. So that is cool to me that you wouldn't go in there and be like, this is all Satan. You'd be like, well, there are monsters. So
Right.
and in this world there are.
And it's I mean, this, I don't know if this will make the cut, but in the lore they describe, it's like Christians see or like the Catholics and whatever see non-Christian dragons as satanic.
Oh, cool.
And so
But the Christian dragons are
like absolved, and so therefore are not satanic.
That's very interesting. Yeah, for my character, I was feeling like this is showing the weakness of this faith, that this is so easily sort of surmounted, or not easily, but it is able to be surmounted.
right.
So you stand in this chamber now with the golden disc, this half disc in hand. What would you like to do?
Let's examine it.
Yeah.
So it is a smooth golden metal disc, but it's half of a disc. It's like a crescent, like a smiley face, and it looks as if it should be fitted to something else.
Yeah.
Maybe we should return to the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Or
I think we have the same idea.
The feeling you had of water. Yeah.
We have the same idea that this is only part of what we'll need to move forward.
Citlali even takes a moment to kind of check you all out to make sure that you didn't, take a dart. There is a little bit of a camaraderie growing here, and I feel like he's sort of like takes a moment just to be like, okay, you're okay.
Definitely.
Because even though you are well-armed, well-clad, and have proven yourself over and over again in victory, I think that he would look at you as like, you're not dressed for this.
Right. You're
like,
not from around
this
here.
is not like, you're hot, aren't you? Yeah. Like,
I'm very hot.
yeah.
Not in the cute way. Like
Right.
I'm sweating. Buckets.
Yeah. Dying. Yeah.
Yes. That's
So I
good.
think that he would even begin to take a little bit of like I think that he's beginning to, we've proven to each other that we can fight a few times
Mhm.
and think our way through things. And I think that he would probably find you a little more respectful than anyone else, than any other like conquistadors that he has met so far. So he's like curious about you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think on Maria's end, she's all about that money. She is really a
Right.
mercenary in so many ways. She left her family and her people behind to find her own way in a new world. And so with Citlali, I think it's more that she's almost a misanthrope. Like she doesn't like anybody.
Mhm.
Like she's very reserved and very standoffish. But yeah, I think that there is a bond sort of forming with Citlali in that she sees him as a useful companion.
Right.
Like that he's
Right.
I don't know. A good guy.
Cool. What you're continuing forward?
Yeah, I think
You come back to the forked passage.
we're going to go to the right hand.
We're going to go to the rightmost
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
So you come across a stone arch. Leads into a darkened room.
Is there any markings on the arch? Are there any markings on it?
It's similar, like kind of simple carvings now.
Right.
It's a lot of the same motif.
Right.
I step in. I go in.
Okay.
I'll follow. Yeah.
Okay. So you enter a chamber of white stone that's completely empty, save for the bas relief of 4 dragons on the wall.
Ooh.
In the 4 cardinal rooms. There's the sun dragon of the east, the storm dragon of the north, the heaven dragon of the west, and the earth dragon of the south. And these are very high up, these dragons.
What was the final one? The heaven?
Yeah,
Or no?
so it's basically there's the east, north, south, east, west. So it's
Right.
east is sun,
North
storm
is
dragon of
storm.
the north, heaven dragon of the west, earth dragon of the south. And
Are these obvious to us or to me at
you
least?
you see them and there are symbols, like you've kind of been in this place long
Of
enough
course.
that you're starting to like
You're probably more
catch some of the
decoding.
symbology, especially from like even the first puzzle you looked at with the like cardinal directions.
Right.
You start to see like, oh, these were the dragons that were there, and the colors are starting to match. So you're starting to draw connections, and you even notice that there's sort of a motif of like kneeling figures in front of each of these dragons, almost as whoever built this temple worshiped to the dragons. So it's sort of like that's the motif of this room. And as you look up towards the heads of these dragons, you actually catch a glint in the center of the room, and they're up, dangling some 30 feet, 10 meters above you from the ceiling is a golden half disc.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see this disc, as you sort of step yourselves into the center of the room, the stone arch closes behind you, and the room,
Damn it.
the room echoes with that sound and rumbles, and the ceiling starts to drip and then pour and then hose water into the chamber.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I know how we're getting the disc now.
We're
gonna float.
I hope so. I'm just gonna go on a hunch here, and I'm gonna go kneel in front of the Western dragon, the Heaven dragon.
Okay. You go kneel in front of this dragon, and with a grating sound of stone, as you kneel on it, the mouth of the dragon opens.
Oh, does it look like stuff could go in there or something like that?
It's probably like a foot around.
Okay.
I will, seeing that, go and kneel in front of the earth dragon.
Okay.
The south.
So you kneel there, and again the mouth squeaks open.
Great.
And the water now has reached to the point where to continue kneeling, you would need to be underwater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of walk over to the north to the storm dragon. I will try and get underwater to kneel in front of it.
Yeah.
Okay. To do that, I'll need you to perform an athletics check to kind of force your way down into the water.
That makes
to
sense.
kneel.
Easier with that heavy.
Yeah, with the heavy armor.
So
on.
you're able to, using between the weight of the armor and sort of pulling yourself against the copious carvings on these walls,
Right.
you're able to kneel your pressure onto this plate and into the worn grooves where many knees have been,
Right.
and the mouth up in the ceiling opens.
And I am going to make my way over to the final one, which I believe is the sun dragon of the east. And I'm going to use my tube, my atlatl, to sort of set that on the ground and then pivot myself down with
All
it,
right.
if you can imagine the physics of
So
that.
let's make an athletics check on that as well.
Great.
Okay, so you are able to leverage yourself and hold yourself underwater long enough so that the mouth opens. And as you're doing this, now there's another height's worth of water above you, both as
right.
kneeling figures. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna swim to the top.
All right, so you swim up, and what are you going to do?
I'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to
So
stay.
you both swim
I'll
to
drown.
you both swim to the top and tread water, and you can actually kind of cling to the sides. Like I said, there are a lot of carvings, and you see that the water is actually you could swim to the middle of the room and reach the disc. The water is thankfully still raining from the ceiling, but draining out the
Of the
various
mouths.
mouths of
Yep.
the dragons.
Yeah, I'll swim over to get the disc.
You swim over and are able to pluck the disc pretty easily from the top of the thing. And after a certain amount of time, the water stops raining down
Right.
and the stone slab opens and the whole room drains.
Whoa, interesting.
And you just sort of lower down as the water exits.
Wow, I feel very refreshed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
You said you were hot. This is great.
Yeah.
Where did they keep all that water?
So
It must have been.
you have 2 discs.
I think that Citlali would be very curious about the sort of engineering nuts and bolts of this. You know, like how did they do that?
Whereas Maria simply says, the will of their gods will not defeat us.
Should we try to fit these 2 pieces together?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Does it look like they fit together?
Yeah, you're able to actually just easily sort of lock them to one another.
Great. I feel like we'll need this.
It's not seamless, but they're definitely built to be one piece. So you have one solid disc
Awesome.
of gold.
Is this like the size of like a car steering wheel? Or is it more
I'd
the
say
size?
It's like a dinner plate,
Dinner
maybe.
plate.
Cool.
Yeah, a little bit smaller than a little bit smaller.
more of a
than-
salad plate.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe. Yeah, not that big. That big.
That big. Board ghosts.
so-
And we have one more passage to go down.
All right. So
Darkness.
the tunnel ahead of the stairs is carved with figures and people, but they tell of another story.
Ooh.
They show how the head priest of this temple was buried alive, and alive he remains, waiting below the stone for centuries. So you guys continue down. You actually come upon a stone slab with the symbols of a priest, a dragon, and a precious stone on this slab. And there seems to be no way to move the slab, but there's a small circular depression in the center, as if it was missing a disc-shaped piece.
Hey.
Wait a minute.
We have one of those.
I plug it in.
All right. You insert this disc and it rotates and a stone piece slides over it,
Oh,
obscuring the disc.
Ooh.
And
No treasure for us.
then the slab slides away and opens into a new chamber.
very cool. I would like to.
Has the whispering gotten any louder?
Good question.
It actually hasn't.
No.
It's still
That's bad
the
news.
same constant rasping.
And this is just stone at this point. We're seeing like.
Do
I'll step in.
you guys enter the chamber?
I
So-
do.
Well,
Yeah.
So as you both sort of like you see the hesitation, but
Right.
you continue forward.
I'm brave
and-
and reckless. There's
that's
no
true.
And
hesitation.
so you continue forward into the thing, and you've come into a square chamber flanked by 4 sensors, now in full view, not hidden behind a column or in any way obscured. So the massive like carvings here are fully lit and actually kind of more frightening for that. There's a stone slab on the floor, like the one that was on the entrance of this room, except this one doesn't seem to have any sort of depressions or anything that you would be able to insert a thing. It still has the symbol of the symbol of the 3 pieces, the priest, the dragon, the precious stone, but there is no disc depression. On one side of the room, just on the other side of this slab, there's actually a small pedestal on the side of this slab. That's what it is. And an inscription that reads, "When the moon turns red, the priest shall rise to his final death." And that's in a sort of like cuneiform,
Right.
or like symbol language a little bit more. You guys are kind of piecing this together.
I look around the room for a moon.
You see that the one sort of thing that evokes that most for you is this pedestal on the side, just this little raised bit that's in like a crescent shape.
I'm going to take out my dagger and I'm going to make a small cut on my hand
Ooh.
because I feel like when this moon turns red, I kind of look to you and I'm like, let's just try something here.
And I say to you, only through blood do we get closer to our Lord and Savior.
Oh, okay. He kind of backs away a little bit. But I will make a small cut on my hand and place my make up sort of a bloody handprint.
Okay, so
On the moon.
as you place your hand on the moon, your hand is actually like stuck
Oh!
to this moon, and
My
you
hand is
feel-
stuck to this thing.
and you feel blood being drawn from your
Oh
hand.
no!
And till the entire pedestal is covered in red. you've taken another point of damage for this loss.
Damn, son.
But as it
And my
becomes
hand is
red,
wounded.
you are actually able to rip yourself away and stumble back, and the slab pulls open, and a massive barrel of smoke just pours out of the slab.
Think lost.
And
Always.
you hear that rasping like "Moa ka Hawaii kui" now loud and all around you.
Fuck.
And I'm gonna need you guys to actually make a courage check.
Ooh.
Because
Is there
it's-
courage on here?
There
Discipline?
is a discipline, but
Yeah, we'll go with discipline. That's fine. And then if you guys have if either of you have an affinity for the divine,
got it.
we'll use that. So this will be a courage check.
All right. I feel pretty good. I'm going to go with a 7.
I'm also going to go with a 7.
It also is a 7.
Ooh.
So you are able to
I play my Joker.
Okay. So all right. So how this was working was you guys were going to, had you failed this, you would have been at disadvantage for the entire encounter.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Had you, because you succeeded, but like it was a
Right.
like an equal,
Equal.
then it would be a Pyrrhic victory, Pyrrhic victory. So instead, I would have had you have disadvantage for a little bit. Because you're so almost in the face of this fear,
Yeah.
you just scream out,
Yeah.
and that emboldens both of you, and it shakes you free of this fear.
Yes.
I yell out Six Semper Tyrannis.
What does that mean?
It means death to tyrants.
Yes.
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 And
It's Latin. You know,
The
it's in my
Sycamore
wheelhouse.
so the smoke clears as your minds clear, and this whispering sound is coalescing as a leathery wrapped hand slaps from beneath the stone slab, and out crawls, half crawling, actually half floating,
Ooh.
who you can only assume is Hahui,
Ahoy.
this undead priest sealed in the temple in servitude of dragons for more than 2,000 years.
Hahui, we have come for your treasure.
Hahui,
We're here for the Son of Heaven.
he laughs and points towards you, and 2 shadow demons flank.
Oh.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to whoop some mummy ass.
Yep. That's my plan as well. I throw myself at Huahui. I throw myself at him hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make an attack with my rapier as I
Okay.
just go right for him.
Yeah, so he howls, and his shadow demons rake at the air
Ooh.
as you drive your rapier into what would have been his desiccated heart. And he rears back floating and glowers down at you.
Oh, good.
Ooh. I'm actually going to aim for whatever one of those 2 shadow demons is getting closer to Maria, and I'm going to take it out with my spear, with my atlatl.
Okay. Your spear shoots towards it, and it howls. And how much damage does the spear do?
The spear does 3.
So it howls as the sphere flies through it. But the sphere, it clatters on the other side of a sensor. You'd have to work your way around the chamber to get to it. The first shadow demon, Huati, kind of points at you both. And the first shadow demon rushes at you, Giaco, the one that you had damaged.
Great.
Brings up its claws and rakes down at you.
Ow. Okay. I'm going to try to sort of, again, leap out of the way. I'm much better at that than, blocking or anything like that.
Who knows what sort of intelligence may be shared that these otherworldly creatures have, but it catches your trick before it can happen, and this time gets hold of your neck before you can flip back and scratches at you. You take another damage.
I'm very hurt.
You stumble back from this thing, holding at your neck as it bears its claws at you. The other shadow demon bears down on you, and its claws rake against your helm and leave gouges in it, like shining scratches, just cosmetic for the most part and loud. And it rears back in anger, and that's when Huati,
Fucking Wati. Muad'Dib.
he raises his arms to try and summon.
More.
But the wound in his chest, some black light comes out of it, and he brings his arms down and bares his teeth at you.
Oh, boy.
Good.
All right.
Okay.
So you're back to the top of the order. You guys go.
I'm just going to keep stabbing Huati
All right.
as best as I
So
can.
you whip around this shadow and
Sure
go
do.
right for this guy.
Ah!
Okay.
I'm not even worrying about Citlali, even though I think he's going to die soon.
Right.
Crazy shit is going down, and only my faith is going to protect me. And I have a lot of faith in my sword arm.
All right. So your sword punctures again, this time in the throat of the creature, and more of that black light comes out, and the rasping chanting stops. But the eyes glint red with anger,
Oh, good.
and it spits like just extra teeth and stuff that it had.
Yeah.
Lots of extra teeth. Stares down at you. And what are you going to do, Giaco?
Oh man. I'm going to try to run to my spear. Doesn't seem possible, but I'm going to try to athletically sort of dodge everyone and at least get to my spear.
Okay.
And that is a 5 for me.
Okay. So the shadow leaps and tackles you.
Oh dear.
And it rolls with you
Right.
across the chamber and kind of writhes with you on the floor.
Cool.
The Huati turns its shadow towards you, Ken, and says,
And I say, how do you solve a problem like Maria?
Huatia.
Watia. How do you solve a problem like Wawia?
And the shadow comes at you, your back turned to Wadi, and brings its claws to bear on your arms, and does some damage.
Sweet.
And actually, like you feel the claws, like you hear the scraping sound, but you feel this cold, like scratching, followed by like the warmth of your own blood inside your armor coming down your back as you take 2 damage.
2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Brutal.
Then Hui reaches for you,
Yep.
and his arms, he's still impaled on your sword.
I'm trying to hold him back.
And you're just out of his reach. His claws are right in front of your eyes. And you feel the cold, heavy death from this ancient creature. What do you do?
I keep stabbing.
Rear your rapier back.
I do. I rear my rapier back, and the shadow demon's on my back, clawing at me. I'm crying out in pain. I see that my companion, Citlali, is about to have his throat torn out by a shadow demon. And two-handed, I turn my sword into a downward stab and bring it down right into his clavicle, so the sword blade descends through his torso and then out his back. Sort of near his lower lumbar, as I just am driving him to the ground.
Okay. The weapon just starts to crumble him like a frail, dead ancient thing, and it actually you kind of carries you forward onto this thing, and you almost where you fall into the hole as you sort of collapse with this corpse that just disintegrates beneath you. You find that the creatures, these shadow creatures, the light actually brightens off the sensors and stills, becomes like constant.
Oh.
And the shadow creatures howl as they kind of are sucked down into the
Yes.
Awesome.
You see the remains of this mummy, this thing, some like gold and jeweled, jaded headgear and some rings and bands. And you could easily fetch some good money from that.
Yeah, we're going to need that.
We're definitely going to need that.
I'm going to wear that.
Cool. Yeah, we
Cool.
definitely collect that. I'm looking around though. I'm like, where's the egg? I thought
Yeah, I'm
I was
looking
going to be a
down in
master
that-
of a dragon.
I'm looking down in that hole.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm going to maybe drop my torch down in there.
It goes down a good ways. This was almost like a well, and there are bones down there.
Oh, okay.
Unsettlingly small bones, but there's no stone down there that you can see.
Let's take a rest.
Yeah.
For a second.
Okay.
regain ourselves before maybe going down there.
All right. So you pause and rest.
Does it look like you could go like does it look like it goes down into a wider?
No, it looks, from what you can see up here, it looks like it just kind of terminates.
Okay.
Like it's a shaft downward.
Yeah, like maybe 20 feet, 30 feet down.
Does it look like we could climb down?
Yeah, there are actually some carvings and what might be embedded skulls in the ground that could give purchase.
Good. Well, Citlali is really hurt. I'm a little hurt as well.
Yeah.
Shall we both go down?
I'm going to use some medical to
There
try
you
to
go.
heal, to patch up my wounds a
Sure.
little bit.
Yeah. So make a
Medical check.
medical check. So whether it was the sort of unholiness of the wounds, you're actually, or whatever, you're able to staunch the bleeding, clean your wounds, and get yourself up a couple more health. You're
Cool.
not fully healed up. You're still pretty bruised and scratched up, but the wounds on your neck are gone, and you actually have time to and to help Ken in the same way, and he also heals up one.
Great.
Ooh, all right.
Just the simple application of some chewed coca leaf right in that wound will get you feeling great.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel energized,
Really revved up.
as if the Holy Spirit is
Yeah.
within me.
It is.
That must have been why we were able to defeat those devils so easily. The Spirit is with us.
All right. So what would you like to do?
I want to climb down.
I'm going to keep watch. I'm not super psyched to climb down into the bones of
All right,
potentially.
make a athletics check for me. So you deftly maneuver your way down to the base of this pit, and it smells like of dried spices and sort of the sweet, sickly smell of old death, old death, and it's all bones down here. That's it.
I'm gonna look around and search, but it's all just bones.
Bones.
I yell up, "There's nothing down here, just the dead."
Okay, then get back up as soon as you can.
I'm gonna go to one knee, put my sword point down into the ground, and I will pray once again. I will pray, saying, "These innocents have been consigned to hell, but this place must be cleansed of this butchery." I ask for a blessing on the place. That's what I'm doing.
Cool.
All right. Why don't you do a check for me?
Okay, this is a rights check,
You feel,
and I'll throw my joker down.
Okay.
Yes.
You feel the oppressive weight of death and time in this place.
Mm-hmm.
And the cold fingers of that reach through your prayers, and the almost like the well is 1,000 times deeper than it is. The glint, the glimmer, the candle that draws you out and up from the darkness is a single ray of sunlight. Is what you envision, and you're back in the bottom of this carnal chamber.
Yep. I gather up as many bones as I can without hindering myself. I want to store them in like a sack
Okay.
that I thought I was going to be using for gold,
Right.
and I'll climb back up.
Okay. So you kind of follow a similar path to what you took, and now knowing what the climb is like, you easily gain yourself back to the top with a bulging sack of bones.
Gross. I want to look around the room. There are no other adjoining rooms or...
Nope. This is what you would assume is the heart of the temple.
Okay. I guess I want to inspect all of his jewelry and headdress and things. There were some green stones in that, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's
surely not big enough.
They're ancient and well crafted, and some of you do not know without some magics beyond your knowledge how someone could craft some of this stuff, and you actually recognize the dressings from the motifs as you entered the temple.
Cool.
That this is one in the same.
Are there more motifs in this room?
It's all kind of the same vein. Like
Right.
It really plays. It's echoes of the same
Right.
story and tale.
Well, I think that whether we found the dragon egg or not, we have lifted this obligation from those people. So it's not a full loss, but is there any wing of this place that we did not explore? I don't think so.
Unless there are secret tunnels.
There may be.
We should return these. I wish to return these bones to the people who have sacrificed their children. Perhaps they will find comfort in them. And if not, we can bury them ourselves, or I will bury them.
At the mention of secret doors, Citlali sort of wanders off and just begins pressing against the walls
Okay.
in the room. Yeah.
How long do you want to spend doing that?
Like 5 minutes, not too long. Yeah.
I say these bones need to see the sun again. They need to see the light of the day.
All right.
And once you're done searching, yeah, I'm fairly ready to go.
Yeah.
And just sort of head back out.
Citlali too.
So you make your way back to the place you've come. The context of the horror that you just faced is softening the art around you. Like these images are a pale reflection of the true horrors that you have faced in this tomb. It may help that the sensors are not flashing so wildly and that the oppressive whispering is not in your ears.
Right.
But you make your way up the stairs, you make your way out through the first chamber and towards the mouth of the dragon head. And as you come out into the light, you actually notice something that wasn't there before. There's a pedestal that is risen at the platform just outside the dragon's mouth.
Oh.
Just outside that little antechamber with the columns.
Right.
And sitting on this pedestal, there's an oval-shaped stone that shines and catches the light of the midday sun.
Oh. And I say, my vision. It's true. God has led us here.
What do we do with this, though? This is a burden.
This is our reward.
Well, if we destroy it, then we won't have to sacrifice children anymore, right?
If we break the
Stone.
pact,
Right.
then the children will not need to be sacrificed as
But
the heaven dragon's child was.
that the dragons would be mad.
If we broke the pact.
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't need to then serve these cities anymore. They would be freed.
But this is still a child, right? An egg.
I don't wish to destroy the egg. Do
Right.
you?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. No. Should we try to contact the great dragon?
If this is truly a dragon's egg, this is the most precious treasure we could ever hope to find.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's take it.
Yep.
All right.
So this stone is gorge size, like a large gourd. Probably, it's pretty big size.
Yeah,
right?
bigger than a
bigger
pumpkin.
than a man's head. Large size, like a large pumpkin. It's very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like its size does not belie the
Oh,
full
the
weight of this
density.
thing. What is your guys' combined athletics?
I have a 4.
And I have a 3.
All right.
7.
So together, you're able to move this thing, but it requires both of you to carry it.
Wow.
All right.
Also, so you set it down for a moment and take a rest as you figured out, like you've made a litter to carry it,
Right.
and you have an easy way, and you have a means to cover it. You're actually taking a breath, and you look out from the temple, and you actually notice you can see the ocean from the top of this temple, from this vantage.
Oh.
And there on the coast, like moored, is a ship.
Oh no. What flags are they flying?
This is the ship of Lorenzo de Medina.
The,
The
governor?
captain. Yeah.
Another captain?
This means the Spanish exposition is nearby. So
Oh dear.
yeah. So you have a couple choices here. You guys have been in the temple for a decent amount of time.
Right.
Right? Like you took a couple breaks, like rested, rebuilt a spear, fought a monster,
Right.
and rested again.
Right.
So the temple, you look out, like sort of having made this thing, you were blinded by the immediacy of the stone. And now you look over and you see that the village is actually smoking, actively.
Oh,
possibly
good.
Oh no.
burnt, possibly.
I don't want to give anybody our prize.
No. We worked too hard for this. And I hate to say this, but if they died free people.
Sure, whatever. Let's abscond into the jungle.
Yeah, let's run into the jungle.
Okay, so you guys are going to make your way down the pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you reach the base of the pyramid, where the forest again starts to reclaim, a black shape swoops in from overhead.
What?
And a massive black dragon the size of a large bull, who you know these dragons. You learn their names. And
Yeah.
You learn the flags. This is Bakwe.
Bakwe.
This is De Medina's dragon.
Oh, fuck.
And on it is the rider, La Gatatana.
Oh.
And coming from up the path, flanked by his soldiers, conquistadors and gunners, is Medina.
Oh, good.
And he said,
Captain! Or governor, rather.
So, do you have my stone?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, we do.
Yes. What is the prize?
You will give me the stone.
We could, but I don't know if you want it. It comes with a high price.
You may not be able to afford it.
So what I need you guys to do is make a charisma check against him.
All right.
No problem.
he looks you over and he says,
Joker.
Oh!
I will pay you handsomely.
Okay.
If you come with me, you help me carry this down to my boat, join my crew, I will fulfill my promises.
Citlali kind of like looks to you.
And he has a strong reputation. This is a man of honor.
Yeah, I give you the
okay.
nod.
Like,
yeah.
Me too? Citlali's like, me too? Maria can vouch for me. We split this ordeal together.
Citlali is an idol worshiper, but
Oh,
he has a heart of gold.
I'll go with whatever you're going with here. Let's not talk about what I worship in front of the judge, jury.
He
and
laughs and says, "In a strange land, we make strange partners. Of course you'll be welcome on my crew.
Okay, good, fine.
I don't think I can take you back to España, but haha."
I wouldn't want to go.
So that's it, you guys.
Yeah,
All right.
sell that shit.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Sell
so
that shit.
On down the path you head, down the stairs, down through the woods, but something's not right.
Uh-oh.
Bakwe, the Medina's black dragon, begins fuming at the nostrils, and its head starts swaying erratically. La Gatatana, the rider, tries to calm this creature down, Bakwe, but the monster swaps her aside with a casual flick of its tail.
Whoa.
She goes flying end over end off the edge of this pyramid.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh,
The other soldiers draw their swords and muskets as Captain de Medina takes a couple steps backwards, looking sideways at his ship, moored a good kilometer away. While you and de Medina, it seems, consider your options, the crazed dragon starts rampaging massive carnage amongst the soldiers. What is happening?
Muskets are going off.
So I'm going to have you guys make a knowledge or rights check.
oh yeah.
Okay.
You notice that there's black fumes coming out of the stone.
Oh, no.
You can only reflect back to your time in the temple when your minds were racked by that black smoke. It's almost like the mind of this little dragon, this Bakwe, is
Right.
it just cannot handle the presence of this egg.
Whoa.
So you have an opening. What do you want to do?
I think with my knowledge of the jungle and your strength, we could, the two of us, get de Medina back to his ship while the dragon slaughters the soldiers, which
Love it.
doesn't really bother
I love what's happening.
Citlali at
Me
all.
neither. Yeah, I love that idea.
So we're literally going to try to like scoot him to safety and run through the jungle, through the cover of the jungle to his ship. Like maybe even like grabbing a vine and like sliding down the side of the
Yeah, we're
pyramid.
like protecting him
Yeah.
and trying to get out of there.
Carrying him where we need to.
Well, who's that? The
De
Governor
Medina.
de Medina.
Yeah.
Okay. You get to the ship with de Medina,
Mhm.
and he looks back at the temple, and you can almost imagine you can still hear the screams. There's no more gunshots. There's just the smoke from the village.
Right. Did we leave the egg behind? Yes, we did.
You
Yeah.
left the egg behind. You sail away in the ship, and years go by as you
cool.
hear tell of a band of Nuahu, some natives who have been raiding the coast and giving the conquistadors all sorts of troubles with a indescribably powerful young dragon.
Ooh.
And the Spanish wonder if they can hold this new land in the face of this threat.
Awesome.
Awesome.
With that, our story ends.
Woo!
We will return again with a new tale to spin to dare to entertain. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Instagram at board_ghost and on Twitter at Lord Joho. You can find my media review podcast at New to You Show, and you can find my book read-along podcast at woundandstab.com. Ken, where can people find you?
Awesome. This was so fun. I'm Ken Breese. You can find me at Burling's Beard. Please consider hiring me as your dungeon master. I'm a concierge DM in the New York City area. Check me out from my website. I've also got a sweet Twitch stream that happens on Wednesday nights where we play D&D. And I think I will just have been at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia as you're listening to this, where I was on a great panel about playing D&D with kids.
All right, and Giaco, where can people find you?
You can find me on all media channels at Giaco Furino, Giaco, and that's Furino with an FU.
Rino.
Rino. Yeah.
All right. Again, Giaco, thanks so much for being
Oh,
on.
it was my pleasure. It's been too long. I'm so happy to be back.
Love having you on, Giaco.
Thank you, Ghosts.
I'll go a little behind the curtain. I'm always a little trepidatious about GM'd games. And this one was like, this is a big old experiment.
Yep.
The Board Ghost is about making experiments. If you want to help us out, collaborate with us, support us in our experimenting, go check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/boardghost. And we'd love to have you on as a collaborator in our grand experiment of storytelling with games. Really would appreciate that. And you'll get all kinds of rewards a little bit. Like we will be making videos of the games that we're playing, put them out monthly to show people how they're played in a little bit more depth than our supplementary episodes. That's for the higher tiers. I think middle tier rewards right now will give you the episodes in full batches. So you'll get, instead of getting a 2-episode story over the course of 2 weeks, you'll get it both episodes in the first week.
Very cool.
And we also will be giving people art, like full wallpaper sets of the art that we use to decorate our episodes with. And so the game we've been playing, one more time, we'll kind of plug away there. They should be wrapping up their Kickstarter at the end of November, but it is Burning Games, and the game is Dragons Conquer America. The setting is interesting. I would be aware of some of the sensitivity with the subject matter. It seems like they're very aware of what they're doing, and it was pretty fun. I had a lot more fun playing the game than I thought I was going to on the outset.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I really liked using the cards instead of dice for sort of conflict resolution. It is a crunchy game, definitely. There's a lot of sort of little rules, which can be a lot of fun or be really overburdening, depending on your style. On Board Ghost, we normally play storytelling games, so this was definitely an experiment for us. Let us know how you liked it.
Yeah. So to that end, to learn more about the games and the engine in our story and the players involved, you can go check us out at boardghost.com. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/boardghost. And we're on Twitter. We don't tweet much, but it's at BoardGhostWorld on Twitter. You can shout out the ether and see if there's any desires we can fulfill. So, gang, you should reach out to us on iTunes, leave reviews or comments, and so that we can get more awareness and become more aware to people on iTunes. Also, you can subscribe through iTunes, your favorite listening portal, and but also share the show with people if you like what we're doing. The more people who listen, the more it gets around. I'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
Dying, don't agree with me.